Utah Jazz have really been a model of consistency in the NBA for the past 5 seasons, really. Consistently winning, consistently making the playoffs, remaining a conversation in the playoffs, whether or not they'll be able to get over the hump or not. Even when they lost Gordon Hayward, who was their best player at the time, transitioned into Donovan Mitchell his rookie year, and he was able to step right in and continue to put the team into the playoffs. And I think that one has a lot to do with Donovan Mitchell's talent level, but it also says a lot about the Utah Jazz's eye for talent and ability to have competitive talent that can compete on a team, able to keep competitive players on the team, able to keep a winning team together. Uh, they didn't make any big moves this offseason, but I will say they had one of the most underrated additions this offseason when they signed Rudy Gay from the San Antonio Spurs. I think Rudy Gay is going to be a great addition to a team that's already deep with talent, a team that has the reigning sixth man of the year in Jordan Clarkson, a team with Bojan Bogdanovic, a team with Mike Conley on the team, a team with Joe Ingles on the team, a team with Royce O'Neal on the team, and the list goes on. They did lose Derek Favors and Georges Niang, but like I said, they added Rudy Gay, they added Hassan Whiteside as well, and they also added Eric Pascal from the Golden State Warriors. All they're doing is continue to build their depth. I think they're one of the deepest teams in the league, in my opinion. I've always told people, Dallas Mavericks fans have always argued a lot like, man, we need a second star. We need an all-star. We need a superstar next to Luka. And I'm saying, no, we just need to fill the roster out with guys who can step up at any given night. And I feel like that's the Utah Jazz. Obviously, Donovan Mitchell is the guy. The offense goes as he goes. And obviously, when Donovan Mitchell is there, if he's having an off night or him by himself isn't enough, you have guys that can step up like Jordan Clarkson, Bojan Bogdanovic, Joe Ingles, maybe Rudy Gobert in a situation. Now they have Rudy Gay who can step up in situations like that. Mike Conley, who they just re-signed this offseason and is bringing back going forward. They have guys like that that can step up. But what we did see is that when Donovan Mitchell is not there and those guys are given the key, well, not given the keys, but they're relied upon to be the offense instead of being complements to the offense, it's really tough. We saw that against the Memphis Grizzlies, and the Memphis Grizzlies looked like they had a shot before Donovan Mitchell came back and put the series to rest. Donovan Mitchell was hurt a bit in the second round series against the Clippers, which they also lost. A lot of people have, their doubts about whether or not Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell together can actually win a championship, me included. I personally don't think a duo where you have a guy like Donovan Mitchell, incredible scorer, great playmaker, but an incredible scorer, almost unstoppable when he gets hot. One of the most underrated players in the league. When he gets hot, you can't stop him regardless of his size. Having a guy like that and having his second best player be, while Rudy Gobert is a great player, he's a fantastic player. Rudy Gobert plays his role, and Rudy Gobert is limited. Rudy Gobert's role is to anchor the defense. The Utah Jazz don't have a lot of great perimeter defenders simply because those guys know when you get behind me, you got Rudy Gobert down there waiting for you. That's a hell of an insurance policy. It's probably the best defensive insurance policy in the league for any perimeter defense. But when you have a guy like that as your second best player and you can't go to him in crunch time to get you a bucket when your best player can't get it done alone, that's tough to win a championship like that, especially in a league like this where you have one or two superstars on the team at once, like the LA Clippers, like the Lakers now, like the Golden State Warriors at one point. excuse me, in the East, like a Miami Heat, if you want to say that, like a Philadelphia 76ers before Ben is gone, um, like a Brooklyn Nets team, teams like this, like a Denver Nuggets team, which beat them last year after being down 3-1. It's tough, and I'm not saying you can't win a championship with Rudy Gobert, but I think Rudy Gobert works more as, if Rudy Gobert is your third best player on your team, you're a championship team, in my opinion. I think you're one of the favorites for a championship. If this Utah Jazz team existed in the early to mid 2000s or in the 90s, this exact team, this would be a fantastic team, a championship team, almost a championship contender team. But while we know how the Utah Jazz are going to finish in the regular season, we know they're going to be a top 3 seed most likely. They stay healthy. They have depth even when they aren't. So if someone misses time, someone else can step in and fill the role just like that, and they keep the engine going. But when it comes playoff time, is Rudy Gobert being your second best player truly going to be enough for you to be considered a championship contender? I think that's a lot of the reason why when it comes to the playoffs, we always hear the questions, are the Utah Jazz serious? This a serious championship contender team? Are they real in the West? Are they pretenders? And while that may come off as disrespect, and I understand 100% why anyone, especially anyone on the Utah Jazz, but a Utah Jazz fan would take that as disrespect, considering how good this team is, how well they perform in the regular season. You don't usually see narratives like that placed on a Western Conference team that's finished at the top of the seeding. It's usually like that in the East more often than not. We've seen it with the Atlanta Hawks. We've seen it with the Boston Celtics at times. Teams like that. We've seen it with the Toronto Raptors. You haven't really seen it that often with a Western Conference team, especially not in this decade. But like I said, when it comes to the Utah Jazz, they're different. It's not a dynamic duo that we've seen in 20 years, maybe. I could be wrong on that. I'm pretty sure people will correct me in the comments if I am wrong. But it's not a dynamic duo that we've really seen win in a long time. And I really don't think it's going to start now. But I love to see Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert win a championship together. Absolutely. But I find it very difficult for any superstar player, regardless of the player, to win a championship with your second best player being Rudy Gobert. It's tough for me to see it happen. And that's not a knock on Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert is one of the greatest defensive players of all time. I stand on that hill. Rudy Gobert's impact is arguably the most underrated in the entire league and the most disrespected in the entire league. This man is a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, if I'm not mistaken. I may be missing one more, but I'm not saying that to discredit Rudy Gobert as a player. I'm just saying his play style is not fitting this era when it comes to winning championships. Like I said, if Rudy Gobert is your third best player, I think you should be the favorite to win a championship, regardless of who those first two are. Because first of all, the first two players have to be great to be considered better than Rudy on the team. That's how great I believe Rudy Gobert is. But I think the Utah Jazz will finish top 3 this season in the rankings, but personally don't see them going to a finals, nonetheless winning one. I think Western Conference Finals is realistic for them, but at one point they're going to run into the juggernauts. I'm not even sure if they're better than the Phoenix Suns at this point. That was a matchup I would have loved to see in the Western Conference Finals last year, but nonetheless, we didn't get it. Maybe this year, who knows? But if you are a fan of the Utah Jazz, hopefully you didn't feel disrespected by my opinion, but if you did, nonetheless, sound off in the comments. Let me know how you feel about this team. Do you honestly believe Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert can win a championship together? If not, let me know. If so, let me know. Make sure you guys hit the thumbs up, leave a like on the video, hit the subscribe button, and like I always said, ring the notification bell because you never know when your team's video is coming out next. And I'll holler at y'all tomorrow. Peace.